This is the description of what we're doing today, which is some more computational thinking, another task on algorithms, decomposing, abstraction and pattern recognition. This is called Recipe for Success, and it's quite as simple. It's a much shorter one than the previous one that you did. So what we have here is an algorithm, and we've looked at recipes, but an algorithm is a set of instructions, if you remember, that have to be followed. So what we have here is some 4 steps to making a sandwich. So are these in the right order? Well, if you have a read through them, you have to decide what order would be the best order to go in and put those letters there. So if you're happy, if you think it's A, B, C, D, put those in. If you think they're the wrong way around, put them the way that you would like. The second task is getting you to look at a hot drink. Now, some of you did this previously. So here is put down the directions you need to make yourself a hot drink if you were telling someone how to make the drink that you like. Now, we're not going to put down everything. We're not going to put down, for instance, go to the kettle, pick the kettle up, open the lid, check the water, walk to the sink, put etc., etc. We're just going to say you might say check for water, then boil the kettle. So you're going to abstract out some of the very minute detail and just put in the very necessary things. So once you've put those steps in, there's a third thing you have to do. Task 3 says you will need to ask, do you take sugar? So you can copy the list that you've got there for making a drink and place it in here. I've just got my example here, and then you've got to somewhere in your directions put in the question, ask, do you take sugar? If they say yes, then add sugar, else give them the cup, because they're not taking sugar, so you'd give them the cup straight away. So you've got your directions for making a drink, and then you're going to put those 3 extra steps in. If you want to, you could draw it as a flowchart. Some of you quite liked doing a flowchart, and I know some of the other boys in other classes previously have done that. Now you're going to write down the directions for making a hot dog, and the Americans by hot dog, they mean a sausage in a roll. So you're going to make a hot dog, so you need to write down the directions for making a hot dog, cutting the bread roll lengthways, and then put down the steps you'd need to make it. Then you're going to ask your friend that you've made your hot dog for if they would like brown sauce or red sauce. And then you've got to use words like if, then, or else. This is all part of programming language. We call this pseudocoding because it's not written exactly like you'd write for a computer, but it is writing in the style of a program for human beings. So the questions you have to ask would be, if they say brown, then add brown sauce, else, otherwise. If they say red, then add red sauce. And then you'd put that in your list of directions for making someone a hot dog. So that's all you have to do for that, boys. So it's just getting you used to putting in the decisions into your list of instructions or your algorithm. The other thing I'd like you to do would be this simple thing, which is called sequencing. It's again about getting the sequence of steps in the right order. So we're going back to making a cup of tea. Are these in the right order? Are they not? What would happen if you followed these instructions in the sequence shown? So did this, then B, then C, then D, then E. Put your answer in there. Just a couple of sentences would be enough, or one sentence would probably be enough to describe what would happen if you followed that. Then I want you to put down the sequence where it would work out to be a good cup of tea, and can you change the sequence so it would still work? Sometimes there's more than one way to do something, so you're going to try and think of 2 different ways you could put together those 5 instructions to get a cup of tea. And then the other one here, you've got some steps here to drawing a right angle. What you've got to do is use these steps to write down how you might construct a rectangle. And then, is there another way? So are there 2 ways of using these 7 steps here to draw a rectangle? So again, not difficult. I think once you think about it, you'll see that it's really quite easy. So that's all you have to do today. This should well and truly fit in the time you have. If you want to, and you haven't quite finished the work from decomposing problems, you could go back and work on that. But most of you have made a fair fist of that. There is this extension activity. That is something you can do and get extra points. You don't have to do this. It's quite long, but it's the sort of steps you would have to take if you were going to design an app for a game or something that you think you have a good idea for. So these are the steps or the sorts of things that people who design apps do when they're first planning their app. So there's some options there for you to fill in. Fill in the green squares. This designing an app is not required. This is an extension or an extra activity. Okay, boys, so we'll have done this lesson on sector is called Computational Thinking 5, and if you look back, we've skipped 4. But because we're doing the home learning program, we decided to leave out the 4th lesson, which we would have done if we'd had more time and in class, and we've gone straight to this lesson 5. And then our next lesson, I'm going to give you some time to finish up anything that you haven't quite got done from the first lessons that we've done. I'm going to be marking or looking at how you've gone in the original brainstorm, mind mapping, timeline, and hour of code. I'll be checking off on those shortly. So this lesson is a chance for you to catch up on anything you haven't quite finished or that you think you rushed through it and you'd like to do it better. If you get it finished and you think, no, I've done everything really well and I've done all my computational thinking programs, we have another section which I don't know if I've put into this one, but I will have done this by the time you have your classes. Oh no, I've put it into 7S. 7S started there today. So I've got a puzzle section in the contents, and you can choose to try out some Beebris problems, which are logic problems. You can try the mini beast puzzle. You can print it out. All you do is you copy this page across. You can copy it, or you can move or copy using this step and put it into your own OneNote. So this is in the class contents, and it doesn't matter which one of these, but if any time you get finished early and you want to do some thinking problems, some logic problems, these are here. Now, when we work at school, I usually start off my lessons with the first 5-10 minutes with some sort of logic problem. But because we're doing home learning and we're doing shorter lessons, I haven't been doing a lot of that. So these are here and available. We have an online word search. So the word, I should say word puzzles. Word puzzles. Beebris, which we're going to be doing in a few weeks. The mini beast, which involves some computational thinking. There's some Mensa puzzles here. MindWorks. So I'm going to keep adding these, and I've got some of the answers, but I'm going to put in a section for answers so that you'll be able to check your answers later on. So that's coming. It's on my to-do list. So if you finish today and you're happy with everything you've done, next lesson you can do some of these mind puzzles, logic puzzles, online stuff. So good luck today, boys, and I'll be watching your OneNotes.